So we got a pretty early start this morning. Drove over to the east side of the park. And now I'm in the washes, just kind of scatting around and checking out the status of fall color. And I had a pretty good day yesterday. I mean, 3 different scenes on my first full day here. It's pretty good. But the plan for today is to scout around here just a little bit longer. Then I want to head to the main canyon. And I got an idea for a shot there, which will involve bringing the camera with me since the shuttle system's in place. And bringing my 8x10 to a place I haven't brought it before. And we'll see how that works out. I'm just kind of guessing there might be some fall color or some compositions. Could be nothing, but you know, you gotta follow that sense of curiosity. But we got a little more scouting to do, and it's back to the car and back to the main canyon. I decided to head back to the main canyon, and I wanted to scout out Hidden Canyon. And I'd been through there in the past in the spring, but I was kind of curious what it's like back there in the fall. So I hopped on the shuttle bus, which really wasn't too busy, and headed all the way up to the bus stop for Hidden Canyon, and made the big hike up to it. It's always a pretty exciting hike, just because you have these big drop-offs and you have the chains and all of that. And once you get in there, there's some scrambling over some large boulders. And I brought my 8x10 with me because I figured if I see something interesting, I got the shuttle bus system I have to contend with, so I can't just go back and grab a camera and head back there real quick. So I actually packed my 8x10 set up in my medium-sized bag, which was quite the feat, but it did fit in there. But after spending some time there, it's pretty evident that fall color was a little past prime in that particular area because it's a little higher elevation. And also some of the maple branches that were down low, they weren't looking so good because I guess they kind of got wiped out during some recent flash floods. But it was at least good to cross that off the list, because that's really what this is. It's really about just kind of getting out there and scouting and trying to see what you can find. After doing that, I decided to head back out to the east side of the park again, now that it was getting a little later in the day, and walk through the washes again to see what I could find. And I walked through some familiar areas, some areas I photographed in the past, and explored some other areas I really hadn't been to before. And there are some really beautiful scenes up there, but some of it would be very difficult to photograph in large format. Some of it was very chaotic. But I think my plan for tomorrow is to head back in there again to the washes on the east side, because at this point the fall color it needs some more time down in the main canyon itself. But up on the east side, it's looking really good, so I think that's where I really need to spend my time to be as productive as possible. And when I'm hiking through those washes and just trying to find that right subject, it's really interesting because there's so much chaos, and at a certain point as you're walking around, you almost kind of, your eyes glaze over and you just kind of don't see anything. So what I really have to do is I have to kind of force myself to stop every now and then and just kind of look all around me, look at each tree, at each rock, and it's amazing what kind of stuff will kind of jump out at you, because after a while I think just the mind gets overloaded by everything that's going on up there. But when you find a subject that that's going to be a good photo, you really know it just instantaneously. I mean, there's been times when I've been back in there and I've been walking around and it stops you dead in your tracks because you just see something so beautiful, and it's almost as though that subject has a story to tell. And I didn't really find anything today, but I'm going to head back in there again tomorrow to see what I could find, because there's a lot of potential up there. The color is fantastic. It's just about finding that simple subject. And the photos I shot yesterday, they're very chaotic subjects, and that's what I've been kind of working on, because I think that creates more of a true subject. The other thing I found is that when you find these maples that have perfect fall color, really full of leaves, they're not really a great subject. It's really when they lose a lot of their leaves and you have these delicate leaves kind of hanging fragile. I think that's what really looks good, because I think with most things when it comes to landscape photography, if you capture that image that has you can, well, basically, if you look at a photo, you can tell that moment did not last long. Another day later, those leaves are gone, or another few minutes, the light was gone. I think that's one of the things I try to capture with my photography, and it's not always the easiest thing to do. But it's been a long day. I was kind of chilling here in the main part of the canyon during sunset, but I think it's time to wrap things up and head back to camp. It's been a pretty good day.
If you love this content and want to help support my journey, you can do so by subscribing to my YouTube channel, telling a friend, or sending a contribution of just $24 a year via PayPal. I depend on the generous support of people like you to produce this ad-free content. Thanks in advance for your support.